Hi everyone, and welcome to Morning Coffee Break. I'm outside to show you what's going on in the neighborhood, then I'll go back in. I got your hat on, Jackie. I know you probably haven't seen it on me in a while because I lost it. I don't ever lose anything though. But I found it, so I have it on today. She sent it to me. She knew that I love Aerosmith, and I've always liked them. Let's see, I think I saw them in concert, about 76, 77. And of course, they're still going on strong as far as I know. Pretty old now, but so am I. It's starting to warm up out here since the sun's out, so I think I can take my blankets and the blanket or whatever you want to call it off my plants. Nothing going on out there, that's for sure. Let's see what everybody's looking like this morning. Yeah. Cauliflower's still bent over, but that's from this being on it, I guess. Straightened up some yesterday. The radishes are hanging in there. I pushed up some more dirt against some of them. Hanging in there. Let's see what's going on down here. Uh-oh, I left you out. You still okay, aren't you? Sorry about that, or either it blew off of it. Oh. Bad. I'm feeling really, if y'all didn't watch morning devotions, I'll tell you again, I'm feeling really super wore out like I knew I would from my infusion. All I can do to do this, but it needs to be done. Gotta take care of it. I want it to keep growing. Oh, everybody over there's looking pretty good. It was 29 when I got up this morning, so could have been worse. I want to get them as much sunlight as I can. You know, I really could wait a little longer for it to get warmer, but I think they'll be okay. Well, I think we determined that these are beets. Or either they're the turnips and these are the beets, but either one, it's turnip and beets. I think those are beets, and I think these are turnips. I just don't know all that much about them. And I know that's Russian kale. So it's actually looking pretty good still. And of course, all these back here are okay. And these are all the ones I transplanted. So, I gave them a little miracle grow yesterday. I'm hoping that that'll kick in and get them growing a little bit. But they're not dead. You know, some of the leaves are kind of, need a little bit of TLC, I guess. This one needs a little dirt around it. I think that's a radish in there. So, that's what the garden's looking like this morning, everyone. It looks pretty good, all things considered. As cold as it's been and stuff. We'll see what happens if I ever get my energy back. I'm thinking about transplanting some more of that stuff that's all bunched up there. Since the others are okay, why not? So, it looks better with all the dead stuff out of it, I gotta say. You know, but I just had to wait until we got the new trash can ordeal over with before I could fill this extra one up with all the dead stuff. So, wow, what in the world is a mailman doing here this time of day? Good grief. I'm gonna have to go out and check the mail. Because usually when I see them up here, they've already been to our house. It's very unusual to be this early. Only thing I can think of is maybe they split the route. Sometimes they'll split the route if there's a lot, and they'll either come late or early. They won't come at the normal time your normal driver does, and that's a woman. So that our driver's a man, older man. There's my neighbor up there going to work on a Saturday. I know because he's dressed up. He's an insurance salesman, and he wouldn't be dressed up if he wasn't going to work. So I'm going to pause it now, go inside and get set up, everybody. We got a good one today. The story will be about the time we had to deliver a truckload of Cokes to an A-frame in the mountains. So it'd be a good one, and I'll see y'all in a few minutes. Hi, everyone. Coffee. Before I get started on the story, I've been looking at these videos about YouTube, changing the COPPA rules. It is a mess, y'all. It's a mess. I don't know what. It's going to put a lot of family channels out of business. Or if they were making money off YouTube, if they were monetized, if they have to put their videos as made for children, they will not be paid. They will not have commercials. They won't be able to have comments. They can't share it. There's more. It's just basically, I guess you'll be just able to show it one time, as far as I know, and people won't be able to view it but that one time. That'd be just, that would be not even like doing YouTube to me. If you can't interact with your people, you may as well just, I mean, if it was me, I would just say heck with it. If I had, if my channel was just about my kids and things that kids do, and the description they have for what appeals to children on the ones that you put as made for adults. If you have, it's a whole big thing. Anything that they think it would appeal to kids, you're not allowed to do. And they will fine you, FTC will fine you $42,500, I believe it is, for infractions. And YouTube can just close your channel down if they want, for anything. So all these, and I know there's lots of wonderful family channels. I can think of several, I'm not going to mention them, that are just really fantastic. They show their kids, and there's nothing ever inappropriate at all. Kids playing games, this and that. But, on mine, if I put it as made for adults, I won't be allowed to show anything that appeals to children. They even have celebrities down. Come on. What? The purple bear, or what is it? The purple dinosaur even? Or anything. You can't, if you have anything animated, look, I do jib jabs. I just sent one out for Thanksgiving that's a cartoon. It's us in it, yeah. But, kids are going to watch it, and what is wrong with that? But as far as Jib Jab and Kitty's Corner, I know that, I know that they like them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if I put, I'm going to have to get more information. I'm going to keep researching it. But basically, at the first of the year, if everything is still the same, I won't be able to do Jib Jabs or Kitty's Corner or anybody's pets, because it will appeal to kids. Kids love to see their pets talking, and it's a wonderful thing. I've never done anything inappropriate on any of them, but I can't take that risk of laying down a fine of $42,000. That would bankrupt me. We'd be in the poorhouse. We'd have to sell our house. So who's going to take a chance like that? For a video that you're going to get paid probably 30 cents for. That's about it. I mean, I'm not making big money. I haven't even got any money. They put a test amount in there to see if it worked of 72 cents. I've got some money in it, but they've not sent me a penny yet. I basically, on every video, you make about 30 cents. Because I know a lot don't watch the commercials, and I don't blame them. If you're don't like to watch commercials, don't feel free not to watch them. But basically that's it. I mean, so who's going to take a chance like that? If you have 10,000 or more subscribers, some of these have 100,000, 30,000, you're going to make more money, obviously, just because of the amount that you have people watching and this and that. But, at my level, it's not worth any risks. So I hate to disappoint anybody. We still got a few months to go, but if nothing changes, I won't do it. And I'm paying for those services, so why should I, keep paying them? So it's very disappointing to me that they have really gone overboard, which they probably already had to pay out a bunch of money to the FTC, because they lost or whatever, I understand. But this is really overkill to me. But I understand where they're coming from. They don't want to be put out of business. They're going to be struggling. They're going to lose a bunch of people. And this just, you don't try to run off your customers. So anyway, that's my take on it. That's just my opinion. I don't feel ill towards YouTube. I understand where they're coming from because of all the bad things that have happened in the past, and they've had to pay for it. So I understand what they're doing. I just think that some of it's a little. They should take it case by case. But I guess there's so many millions of YouTubers, it would take an army of people to keep up with it. So they're just like, here's what you do: made for kids or not made for kids. And if you put made for adults and you still put children's content on there, you're going to be fined. So I'm sorry to get worked up about that. I've been thinking about it yesterday, and I get a little worked up about it. But especially when I know I haven't done anything that would deserve that. But in the future, if I do the same things, I'll be fined. So I watched that video. I encourage any of y'all that have channels to watch on, I think it's YouTube Creators or something like that. If you're a member of it, if you are subscribed to it, you would get it just on like a notification on any other videos. But if not, I encourage you to subscribe to YouTube. I think it's Creators, I think it says. But just go to youtube.com or I think you could even probably get it on maybe your Play Store or something like that. So enough of that, enough of the negative. I just want y'all to know if it ends up going away, and I know everybody loves both of them. If it ends up going away, it's certainly not my fault, but I think it's pitiful. Maybe in the future they'll kind of, refine it a little bit, I hope. So, Joe, I tasted this. It's a little too hot for me, buddy, but I know Logan will be sprinkling this on everything he eats. He'll probably have it on his breakfast this morning, because he said he wanted to try it. It wasn't open. He hadn't tried, but I opened it up and tried it. It's the only thing really hot it's got in it is the cayenne pepper. But if I wasn't like I was, the main thing with me with hot stuff, it's not that my stomach can really kind of take it. It bothers me a little bit, but it's when it goes through my system and goes to my fistula, which is an unnatural pathway outside of your intestines. It's attached to my intestines. Stuff comes out, goes through my stomach underneath, and comes out the fistula. I hate to talk about that, but y'all don't know anything about it. You'll know, because it's a bad thing. So anything hot comes through, burns my insides like I don't know how to explain it. It'd be like you had a searing hot iron across the inside of your stomach underneath, and it lasts until it all goes away. I had it happen several times. I ate something I didn't know had jalapenos in it. It was a Hot Pocket, I think. It didn't say, I don't know what it said on it. It was some kind of chicken thing. And those jalapenos hit me, and what am I going to do? I can't even go. You couldn't go to the hospital, the emergency room, because what are they going to do? They can't do anything about it. I'd have to have surgery to do anything about it. And I'm leery of that because they'll have to cut my colon or my intestine in half, take out the affected area, and put it back together. I've already had that done before, and it's just a real ordeal, and so many things can go wrong. But this is fantastic, Joe. That's why I tried it. I really wanted to be able to use it, and I know Logan and Joy will be able to, and it's really good. So that's why I won't be able to eat anything spicy. And it's not that I don't like it. I used to eat. I was like Logan. That's where he got it from. I used to put hot sauce on everything except a peanut butter sandwich. I put it on my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner. I may as well just drank the stuff. That was before, I got like this. So, you chewing on the potato bag? Boy, you like that? You're acting silly. Okay, everybody, let's get on something more positive. Well, I don't know if it's more. It's my story is a little bit of an ordeal again. Every time I remember something, I'm going to be writing it down because that's the only way I can remember to do it. So this morning's story is when they sent us to deliver a truckload of Cokes and we ended up at an A-frame in the mountains. They didn't even tell us. One day, what was bad about working there is, like, when you got in, you were already totally wore out. And if they saw you, they would snag you and say, listen, you got to take this to so-and-so. They need it right now. We got to do it. We can't wait till tomorrow. And I'd be like, what? I don't even remember if we got paid for anything extra. I remember being really mad about it because it was late already when I got in. They did send somebody else with me. I think it was just one other person. I'm pretty sure. We had a whole truckload of Cokes at this guy. It was called Clarence's Restaurant. Or Clarence's Drive-In or something. Restaurant, I think. And so we, they didn't say anything to us. They just said, take these to Clarence's. And we assumed he had a basement down there because I delivered to him. And we assumed we would be, backing up to that basement in the back and just, huffing them in there, a whole truckload. And we had to unload them by hand. Nobody has a tow motor out at Clarence's Restaurant, And so we got there and we're like, open up your basement down there. We'll roll them in there. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, they said you wanted this truckload of drinks. He goes, yeah, I don't want them here, though. I don't want to store all them here. I got an A-frame up here at blah, blah mountain. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? He's like, no, I told him all about it. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, because they knew I'd have a problem with that, and my buddy that went with me. They would have had to send a couple more for something like that. So we followed this guy up a mountain. I mean, we had to put it in low. And I think we had a twin axle right then, so we put it on real low. Crawling up there. We get in there, and his driveway is like this. It's not paved. It's like this. There's a bank on each side of it. Okay, we didn't think anything about it. We usually unload one side of the truck and then the other. There's no use in running back and forth. We didn't think anything about anything would happen. We unloaded one side of that truck, and it started going, creaking. Well, now the wheels are starting to come off the ground. It's going to tip over, dumping all this stuff and causing a big disaster. So we were like, oh my gosh, we should have unloaded, one, but we didn't know. We'd never done anything like that before. We were young. I was probably 24, 25. It was before they promoted me to district manager. And they did promote me. I was the youngest district manager that they ever had at that time. They waited till you were pretty old before they do anything, and you were real loyal. You know, I'd been there almost 10 years and never missed a day. And I got a whole nother stories about that of when I was, oh gosh, I got to write this down. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me write Coca-Cola. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, it's starting to tip over. So we rushed over there. I think he got on the front one bay, and I got on the back, and we just toughed him off there. I mean, you know, it hurt. It hurt to do that, but we wanted them wheels back on the ground. So we got like halfway through a whole pallet. He got halfway through, and I got halfway through, and it started to ease back down. So then we were able to slow down a little bit, you know, and start unloading. It could have fallen over on us, killing us. So we go in there, and the guy is paying cash. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, yeah, it's all 20s. There was some hundreds, and it was over $3,000. I'm like, oh man, I was always paranoid about counting the money because, and naturally my buddy's like, no, I am not being responsible for that money. No way. So I had to do it. I mean, he'd only been there a year or something like that. He wasn't going to take, any responsibility. And I would have been there a long time. So naturally, I'm okay. I had to count this stuff. He counted it out in piles. I counted it once. It wasn't right. I told him, no, sir, this is not right. And I had to count it again, and he owed me $100 more. I guess an innocent mistake. But if I just stuck it in my pocket and gone back, and they said, Mike, you're short $100, and I'd called that guy back, he'd have been, no way. I know it happened a bunch of times on small amounts. And that's why I was so paranoid, and I counted it 2 or 3 times everywhere I went after that, after I had to pay one time. So I that's why I wanted to make sure. And then I got back, and it was right. But, originally it was short if I'd stuck it in my pocket. And I was so tired I almost did because I saw him count it out. But obviously something, either the amount he had out was actually $100 short to begin with or whatever. Or either it was just an innocent mistake. And so I didn't say anything. I was always courteous and nice to all our customers. I cared about my customers just like I care about everyone here in our community. So by that time, it's getting dark almost. And this is in the summer. I guess it was getting on 7 or 8 o'clock. So we head back down the mountain, and I said, listen, I am wore out, buddy, and I drove up here. And I said, you are driving back, or we're not going nowhere, because he didn't want to do nothing. He was like, I'm so mad, I'm just going to sit over here and sleep on the way back. I said, no, sir. I drove here, you drive back. He's like, all right, I'm mad. I'm going to tell him all about this when we get back. I said, go ahead. I'm mad too, but, there's nothing you can do about it. This is the cards we were dealt. A lot of the drivers there they were totally, rude to their customers, rude to everybody there, rude to their supervisors, and they didn't end up staying there over a year usually. We had a big turnover. But I got stories about them. I don't even want to. So, once we got back on the highway, this guy, I can't make him drive a certain way. I can yell at him. I can do whatever I want, but I can't pull his foot off the gas pedal. This guy's going 90 mile an hour in that truck. I didn't even think it would go that fast. I really didn't. He put it in the high gear, and it was able to go faster. I kept telling him, buddy, this ain't worth it to get there for 20 minutes earlier to go this fast. Just chill out, He's like, no, I'm mad. He's yelling, beating on things, lots of drivers like to beat on their steering wheel. What? You're going to beat on your steering wheel? I had steering go out on me years later. I would never mess with my steering wheel, much less beat on it. Or beat on the roof, the windows. Come on. I know you're mad. Let's chill out. We'll leave. You know, I drank back in. I was like, we'll go get us a beer afterwards and we'll chill out, you know. There's a couple local bars that all the drivers hung out at, you know. And so this guy's flying. I didn't know what to do to slow him down. I was in fear of my life almost. This was an old truck. They had problems with all the old trucks. They'd been just run into the ground. So I didn't know what to do. I kept telling him, slow the heck down. You know, you're going to get a ticket if nothing else, and you're not going to get paid a penny. You're going to be paying. And it'd be over $100, I'm sure, going that fast. So he wouldn't listen to me. He kept saying rude things, like it was my fault he had to go with me. They told you to go with me, buddy. I wished I'd done it by myself than to listen to your mouth, you know. And so he's mad at me at this time. So finally I said, watch out, there's a cop. You're going to get a ticket. He dropped that accelerator. It backfired and blew both the mufflers off. I see the muffler on my side rolling off the side of the road. There wasn't a cop. I just wanted him to slow down. My muffler went off the side of the road over here. His muffler on his side went off the side of the road over there. If there had been a car on that side, it might have killed those people. So I'm really, oh gosh, I'm mad now. I said, look what you did. He said, there wasn't no cops. I said, I was trying to get you to save your butt, to get you to slow down. So we weren't going to get out. Those mufflers were so hot, they were probably red hot. You couldn't touch them for hours. I guarantee it. They were old mufflers, so we were like, what are we going to do now? The dang thing sounded like a Sherman tank. It was I can't believe that if there was a cop there, they would have stopped us just for the noise. So he's driving. I'm not in the driver's seat. I said, you can explain it to him, buddy, when we get in. I said, do you think they're going to say anything to me because I said there was a cop when I was trying to get you to slow down? He's like, no. I said, you explain to him. I said, you tell him whatever story you want. That's about as much as I can cover for you. I said, if they ask me, I won't lie. I said, you better hope you explain it to them well enough to where they don't ask me questions, because I will not lie. I never have liked lying. I never have. My mom and dad brought me up to be honest. And if you're honest and you were going to lie about it, at least they know you were honest. And you'll have less repercussions than you would if they find out you lied. So they didn't really ask me much, because he told them. What he said was, I don't know, I just left. He didn't say nothing about me saying there was a cop, but he said, I don't know what happened. I just let off of it, and it backfired and they blew off. And they're like, no, that don't sound right. How fast were you going? He goes, I don't know. I was there. I mean, he's like, I don't know how fast I was going. I knew how fast. I was looking at his speedometer the whole time. I don't think he had to pay for it or anything, but when we pulled in there, it really sounded like a tank, or worse. It was horrible. And naturally, everybody in the plant came to look at it. When we pulled it inside, you know, they were going to load it for the next day, but I knew they couldn't because there was no mufflers on it. So they put mufflers on it. That guy, he either quit or got fired. Not long after that, there were several other incidents. I remember his name. I remember like it was yesterday when I'm talking about it, but I would never say that. But was it worth it, buddy? You know, was it worth it to get back to the plant maybe 15 minutes early, 20 minutes earlier than we would have going slower? No, it wasn't. I got more stories about other drivers doing crazy things. Let me see. But anyway, that's it for that story. And it's another crazy one, I know. And I've got a bunch of them. But tomorrow's will be another story of a driver acting crazy with me in the passenger seat, putting my life in jeopardy. You know, God was with me again. That truck didn't topple over on me. God was with me again tomorrow. because we wrecked. There's other wrecks too, and I don't even remember. They'll just have to come to me. Some things I block out for years, and it'll just hit me all of a sudden. If I do remember anything, I'll write it down. All I can say, I didn't drive a tractor trailer, but I drove anything from a pickup truck with a bed on it, all the way up to a truck with a truck and bed, and it was 2 foot short of a tractor trailer. So I've drove some big trucks. That's the life of a truck driver. You're going to come into things all the time. All the time. It's a rough life. So I hope y'all enjoyed this morning's story. It got me a little worked up. I know I was a little loud, but you wouldn't imagine how worked up I was at that time. You know, I have to express myself, you know, so I hope I wasn't too loud or anything. It made me mad thinking, even after all these years, and it's been at least 35 years, something like that, since it happened. Thinking about it now, I still can't get over it. But I'm still feeling really tired and stuff, but I can still talk. I was trying to think. Let's go over the 2K giveaway. All you have to do is be a subscriber of mine. Please be a subscriber of mine. I don't like to check up on people. I won't. I'm going to, you know, I take everybody at their word. So if you put in the, you know, to enter me, I'm not going to look on your subscriptions to see, you know, if you actually are. I trust people. You know, I have asked people before a time or two, you know, if I was a little suspicious, but, you know, just be like I said, just be honest, subscribe to me. You're going to like my content, I hope, and there's something for everybody, but be a subscriber of mine. All you have to do, hey honey, stay over here. She's been in catnip this morning. You're going to knock things down, okay? Lay down. Lay down. Yeah. She wants to play. Honey, I can't play. I will play in a minute, okay? Okay? Right there. Wait for me. She'll wait for me. She'll sit down right there. Yeah. Be a subscriber of mine, and in the comments, put somewhere in your comment, hashtag 2K giveaway. All one word. All run together. Yeah, the hashtag's a #, then 2K giveaway. If you press that, it'll go to any video that has had that in the past. But you'll see mine too, if you need to know more about it or anything like that. The prize is a $25